All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
How are you? Good
Doing
afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, we'll get started. Let's see. Oh, okay. Looks like everybody is about here. All right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Judge Regina Mincy, and we're going to begin our Fulton County State Court Expedited Accusations calendar. And this is a calendar for cases in which individuals have recently been arrested by the in Fulton County, and the Solicitor General's office has already accused the cases of the offenses brought against them. These cases have also been bound over to the Fulton County State Court. Nevertheless, this will usually be the defendant's initial appearance before a state court judge, so we are able to address several matters, including bond, possible arraignment, and a possible plea offer if one has been made at this juncture. I want to let you know that the reset date for SAP is what, Ms. Hall?
December the 28th.
All right, December 28th. And I also want to begin by reminding the defendants on this calendar that this calendar and the whole entire proceeding is being live streamed as well as recorded and live streamed on YouTube. So govern yourselves accordingly. Want to remind you that you do have a right to counsel at this juncture in your case, so you should know who your attorney is by now. Also, you have the right to remain silent. Remember that anything that you state about the facts, the circumstances, and/or the occurrences of your case can and will be held against you. So please listen to your attorneys and let them guide you in that manner. All right, who do we have first, deputies?
Good afternoon. We have position number 5.
Okay. This is 23 CR 007946D, Sean Harrell, charged with 1 count of battery, pretrial.
Got it. Who is banging
Sorry?
on the door? I'm sorry, somebody banging on the door.
Oh, okay.
2022 terrorist threat, simple battery conviction. What else? Got an open theft by receiving in DeKalb County. In 2016 failed to appear. He had 2 of those. 2012 failed to appear. State, did y'all see a California history? I know it's 1, but it didn't come back on the GCIC.
I do. Do you trust my history?
Today
I have
do.
Oh, today
I
he
can't
does.
confirm. I can't confirm it.
I do show it's a 1997 battery on a person from California conviction.
All right. State, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This incident happened on December 13, 2023, when Officer Darren Jackson was dispatched to a dispute call at 3312 Piedmont Road Northeast, which is a Hampton Inn hotel. Upon arrival, Officer Jackson made contact with a front desk employee who stated there was a fight in room 330, but he was able to separate the parties. Officer Jackson made contact with the victim, Nicole Scott, who stated that she was in a dispute with the defendant about money. The victim stated that the defendant became extremely upset and started grabbing her by her throat and mouth area. She further advised that during the altercation, her lip was busted and bleeding. The officer observed a busted lip and reddish marks around her neck. Officer Jackson also spoke to the 911 caller, who did not want to be named, who was next door in room 328, who stated that she heard the male beating the female up. She further stated she heard the female screaming and a dog barking. The simple battery that was mentioned by pretrial, Miss Scott was the victim in that case. And the most concerning thing about it is he just pled to that case on June 26, 2023, so not even 6 months ago. For that reason, the state is concerned about him reoffending, also potentially intimidating the witness. And the recommendation is a $5,000 surety bond, no contact at all whatsoever with Nicole Scott, no weapons, no drugs or alcohol. And if there is some type of domestic violence course that he can take through pretrial, and this is a pretrial, take that off. $5,000 surety bond with the other conditions I just announced.
All right. Is the victim on the call Nicole Scott? Nicole Scott? All right. Go ahead. Is this your case, Mr. Cook?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay.
Your Honor, my client is 45 years old. He's lived in the metro Atlanta area for about 17 years. He is a veteran of the Army. This was a girlfriend or former girlfriend. He is owns his own company called Firm Solutions, which is a tax preparation and tax resolution company. But he has, obviously that's a seasonal thing, so his funds are about zero at the moment. We would be asking, we have no problem with any no contact or NADW at all, but we would be asking for a signature bond through pretrial.
All right. I'm going to, due to the history, order the $5,000 surety bond. I'm going to order no further contact with Nicole Scott. Yes, I will order the stay away from the incident location at Hampton Inn. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And that's all I'll order at this time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Next, we have position number 7, Ms. Lane.
This is 23 CR 007952Y. Desiree Lane, charged with 1 count of battery family violence, pretrial.
I got a first arrest. Jail was the recommendation.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I just wanted to point out to the court that this is a dual arrest. So perhaps this might be a good idea to address both of them since they're husband and wife.
Which is, let's see. What's the husband's name, Ms. McLeod?
It should be Adam Bursch. I believe he's position number 1 on the calendar.
Oh, okay. Has a different last name.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, we can handle those back to back. All right, go ahead, State.
Yeah, the brief facts of the case is that on December 13, 2023, the officer responded to the fight in progress call at the incident location, that incident location being 2523 Rayne, R-A-Y-N-E Street, Atlanta, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia. The officer met with, in this case, the defendant, that would be Lane, who advised that she and her newlywed husband, the victim in this case, Mr. Adam Bursch, B-U-R-S-H, got into a physical altercation. The defendant stated that she texted the victim's phone multiple times and he did not answer the phone. The victim then came back to the house intoxicated and stated that he was at church at the moment or at the time. The defendant asked the victim, "Why are you drunk?" And he stated that he wasn't. The defendant explained that the two started arguing when she pushed the food off the table and it spilled onto his clothes. The victim stated that he was drinking an alcoholic beverage when he came home from church. The victim explained that the defendant thought that he was out cheating on her because he had came home later than usual. The victim began to get frustrated and began to accuse him of cheating. The victim stated, or accuse her of cheating. The victim stated that the victim stated that the defendant pushed his plate of food on him and pushed him. The victim stated that the two got into a physical altercation. Victim suffered injuries to his right eye and a knot that was swollen and a bloody lip. I'm just sorry, bloody nose. Both parties were placed in custody. Given the limited nature of his criminal history, the recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no contact with the victim, a stay away from that incident location, and the completion of a family violence intervention program.
All right. And this is your case? No. Let's see.
It's my, Miss
You have
Lane.
the husband or the wife?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Should I address Miss Lane? You want me to talk about my client, Miss Lane?
Yeah, you're representing the wife, not the husband.
That
I
is
was
correct,
getting it
Your Honor.
okay, I'm sorry, I got it confused. But go ahead. Yes, we'll go ahead and address
My
this.
client is 34 years old, Your Honor. She is a teacher. This is her very first arrest. She tells me it was just a misunderstanding between herself and her husband. They only just got married recently. So she would definitely want to have continued contact with him. And she tells me that she believes that is what he also wants, Your Honor. So I would ask that her signature bond be through the jail and that it be conditioned on no further violent contact with her husband. They both live at this address, Your Honor.
Okay, is it a rental purchase or do we know whose
It
name?
is, his name is on the lease, she tells me, but they live there together.
Okay. And for Mr. Bursch, who's representing him?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. State, do you have anything else to add on his real quick? If not, I'll let the PD's office
So on her
go.
case, I would just like to add that there has not been a sufficient cooling off period as the incident date is yesterday.
Okay.
Very quickly, as far as Mr. Burst, just to add a couple more facts for the allegations of battery. I agree with the recitation that has already been stated, but would like to add that the defendant, Mr. Bursch, in this instance, after the food was spilled on his clothing, he then got up into the victim. Here's Miss Lane's face, and she pushed him. The defendant, with a closed fist, started punching her while he was striking her. She began to cover her face with her hands, which caused her left ring finger to become swollen. She also had a red mark on the side of her face, and the officers did observe the defendant, Mr. Bursch, slurring and observed him to be highly intoxicated at the time that they responded.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I'm doing this a little bit out of order, but with Mr. Bursch's case, it's 23 CR 007955Y. And deputies, I know he's not before me at the moment, but pre-trial, does he have any history?
This is a second arrest, 2012, driving without a valid license. And jail was a recommendation for him too.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let me go back to
Miss
Miss
Lane,
Lane.
please put your hand down.
With Miss Lane, I will grant a $3,000 signature bond. I am going to have that signature bond through the jail. I'm going to order, and I don't know, they still want to have contact, correct?
They do, Your Honor. They've just been married approximately 7 days.
Wow. 7 days. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
I should recommend some marriage counseling, huh?
That might help, but I think they do still both want contact. That's my understanding.
Well, it sounds from listening to Mr. Bursch's case, it sounds like that Miss Lane had some injuries there. And it seems to be corroborated that he was possibly drunk. 3,000 signature bond through the jail, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And I too feel there hasn't been the ample cooling down, and they haven't even been married that long to get that angry with each other. I guess maybe the alcohol was fueling it, but it's difficult with the dual arrest, and they both reside in the same location. Mr. Birch is how old? She's 34-year-old teacher. How old is Mr. Birch? I guess I could do the math here.
He's 37 years old, Your Honor.
What type of work does he do?
He works as a music director at a church in Marietta. He's done that for the last 5 years, and he also runs his own business, teaching music classes to about 50 students per week. And if you want to hear a little more about him, I would like to share. So he's 37 years old. He graduated high school from Woodward Academy. He then attended and graduated from Morehouse. He currently, as I stated, works as a music director at a church. He does deny the allegations in the warrant. He has no criminal history other than, as you heard, the 2012 driving without a license. So the signature bond through the jail is what we would ask for. He has also expressed that he, it was a misunderstanding. He would like to return to the home, and no further violent contact with his wife is fine. This was a one-time incident, he states.
Has the state talked to either party? No, I guess you haven't, huh? No.
Your Honor, given their ages, their education, everything, I think it would not be improper to allow them to have no further violent contact with each other. Sometimes the very act of planning a wedding and getting married creates stress in people's lives, and the stress is probably still not done. This was a one-off incident, like Miss Ate states, and this is how her client feels, and it's the same way that my client feels.
All right, so both of your clients are saying they want to try this again and hopefully not end up back here again. I am going to reluctantly order no further violent contact. Hope we
John,
don't.
if we could just, at a minimum, have some sort of anger management course or family violence intervention course put in place, given the uniqueness of the circumstances, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Well, since they both have good jobs and they're working, I think we can order I don't normally order FVIP because of the length of time, but I'm going to do something a little different here with both of these defendants, because I'm allowing them to go back home.
Your Honor,
And
very quickly,
go
I
ahead.
wanted to make sure that Mr. Birch was here, or if his request.
Is
of
he
his-
on the front row, deputies? I agree with you. Where's Mr. Birch, deputies?
Oh, he can hear us. Okay.
I see him raising his hand in the back. Can he hear me?
Yes, he can.
He can. And so I know that we're doing it without him sitting before me, but I can see him as well. And what was your other concern, ASG Polk? Just that he wasn't there?
I didn't know if he was present in the room. That was my only concern.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he is there. He can hear me. I normally don't order FVIP, but I want to, in this instance, as a condition for me letting them both go back home. Maybe they'll learn something in it, and that'll be their impromptu, unofficial marriage counseling to have a healthy, happy, safe marriage going forward. I don't normally order it, obviously, for both parties. But I don't know what other alternative to that. I don't know that it's anger management so much, unless I do the 6-week anger management or the 24-week FVIP. And I know putting it out there that way, I can imagine what the council are going to say.
Your Honor, I would ask at the most for a one-day anger awareness due to the lack of history for my client, I mean, as well as his wife, but she's not my client. I know that they are both actively involved in their church. He's been the music director there for 5 years, so I'm sure that they can seek some marriage counseling there on their own.
I would agree with that.
And I'm just not certain that a 1 day would address the cooling off period issue that we're having, Your Honor.
Well, Your
Yeah,
Honor,
I
a
think it
cooling
would.
off
These are
period is
mature people. They're
What's
not
what's the
children.
next one after the 1 day? The 6 week?
That
Or
would be
the-
an intermediary likely.
I know there's a 1 day and there's a 6 week. Is there a 1 week anger management course at all? Or 7 or 10 day? Does anybody know?
I think they got 12 weeks. They got 12, they got 24 weeks. I know that.
And the FBIP is 24.
Why don't you just put them
So,
on pretrial and order and they'll deal with it. You could do that route. I'm just saying.
well, as a teacher and music director and music students, I was just wondering if their schedules were hectic. I guess I could allow them to call in and then see
Yeah.
what class, sounds
My
like
cl-
they both need to work. Uh-huh.
My client's schedule is pretty hectic, Your Honor. I think, based on my conversation with my client, this is definitely a one-off thing. She has expressed that she thoroughly regrets the incident and she does not expect it to happen again. She is a teacher. She's pretty busy. She's a middle school teacher. We know our hands are full. I
Mhm.
think a one-day anger awareness would be more than sufficient given both of their lack of any kind of criminal history.
Mm-hmm. I'm not for sure if I want them reporting to pretrial with it. I will go ahead and let them both have signature bonds through the jail, but I want both of them to take a 1 day anger awareness course at their cost. They should be able to pay for it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right. And so I'm going to do the same with both $3,000 signature bond through the jail for both Miss Lane and Mr. Bursch. The same order, 3,000 SOB jail. Same conditions, no further violent contact with the victim. And no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond, and the 1 day anger awareness course at their cost.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, that concludes my business before the court today. May I be excused?
Yes, just one client today. Okay,
Yes, Your
sounds
Honor.
good. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Did you get that, Miss Holly? Was I too confusing?
No, I have it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
So Your Honor, just to make it clear, Birch, he has the same, thing, he has a 3K SOB?
So correct, SOB jail, yes.
Okay, so
Same thing.
he doesn't have to sit up here.
No, he
Okay.
can go back if you'd like.
Okay, so you don't- All right, next we have, position number 2.
Okay. 23 CR 007950C Karen Constantine, 1 count of simple battery, pretrial.
8th arrest, 2022, criminal damage to property, 2nd degree. That was out of Coweta County. 2022, failure to appear. 2021, maintain a disorderly house. Violation of family violence order. Those charges were dismissed. Had a 2021 battery dismissed. 2019 battery conviction and a 2018 DUI conviction. This was level 3.
All
Your Honor,
right.
brief facts of the case, and I think the case has some sensitive matters, so I'll skip over them. But it looks like on December 12, 2023, the officer was dispatched to a location in reference to a verbal disturbance with what appeared to be an intoxicated female. The officer made contact with a male who was Mason Clemens, who stated that he was outside of the apartments when he, I guess, witnessed he was called about an intoxicated female being on the premises and screaming at everyone, and that he wanted her to get out. Essentially, the allegation is, I guess when he arrived, he asked the defendant in this case to take a breathalyzer, at which point the breathalyzer results came back at 0.12. But the allegation is that she poked and pushed the defendant, the victim in this case, victim being Ashley Stapleton, Stapleton. Statements were corroborated by a witness in this case. The recommendation from the state is a signature bond through the pretrial services, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, a stay away from that incident location that is listed as 1908 Hemingway Lane in Roswell, Georgia, and Fulton County, Georgia, and to have no contact with the victim in this case. If we could sound for Ms. Stapleton in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated.
All right, Ashley Stapleton. Ashley Stapleton. Not on the Zoom. All right, go ahead, Mr. Cook.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. There are a lot of issues here, but I don't think we even need to go into them as long as we can get a surety bond through pretrial under the conditions that the state has recommended.
A signature bond.
Signature bond.
Signature bond, I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right. I will order a $3,000 signature bond, and I will order that through pretrial. I will order the 1-day anger awareness course through pretrial. No drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond.
And if I didn't get into the issue, but in hindsight, if the state could request an MHET, that'd be greatly appreciated as well.
All right, Mr. Cook.
Your Honor, I don't think that's necessary. We have an issue here of addiction. This was a sober living facility where the incident took place. My client has been through the Talbert Professional Rehab program. She goes up and down on her issue, and she's aware that she needs to stay on top of it. She just recently got her 60-day chip at AA. She understands. She slid back. I don't believe there's really a mental health issue other than addiction, and she is already being treated with counseling and medication on that issue.
So is she going to be able to stay there?
Well, we don't know yet. My guess is I was not able to contact them. It's unlikely, but she has a couple of other possibilities. There's Black Bear Rehab in White County. There's a few places that she believes will take her. So that's what we're shooting for. But her mental health issues are issues related to addiction and some depression and those kinds of related issues. But she's already being treated for them. She's on medication for them. So I don't know what an inmate would actually do.
Well, I'm wondering if it's working. I guess she needs to go to a different place, and hopefully she's ready to do that and not have any incidents, especially battery with the folk at the place that are trying to help her.
Yes.
And so I guess she'll learn her lesson from this. I hope she receives placement. I'm going to order that she go back into treatment within 72 hours of being released. I hate to put that on her, but I'm afraid if she doesn't, and then she hangs out there because she's put out of this sober living facility, that she's kind of out on the street doing whatever, which may further contribute to a relapse. Is 72 hours too short, or if you've got some other places that are?
Your Honor, I think that's essentially 3 days. Yes, I think that would be plenty of time for her to find a number of facilities.
Okay, so I'm going to say to report to a new facility or find a new facility within those 72 hours, continue with her treatment and cooperate with that treatment without any additional incidents at the facility. So that's all I'm going to order at this time. Not going to order an MHET, nor will I order ADET. Let's see what happens with this next facility.
You want
Thank
to
you,
report
Your
by phone?
Yes, you can report by phone.
Level 1, right?
Level 1, yes.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Your
there's
Honor.
nothing else. I think that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we have position number 3.
This is 23 CR 007947A. Lauren Dillon, charge of 1 count of battery, pretrial.
First arrest, jail was a recommendation.
State.
This incident took place on December 12th, 2023. Officer White was dispatched to 565 Hank Aaron Drive Southeast for a dispute call. Upon arrival, we made contact with the victim, Wyatt Lewis, who stated that he and his girlfriend, the defendant, were at his residence located at 223 Fletcher Street Southwest. They returned from being out drinking when the defendant became upset and started attacking him out of nowhere. Once they were inside the residence, the victim stated that the defendant started punching, scratching, and biting him all over his body. The victim stated that he and his roommate were able to get the defendant off of him and out of the residence, and then he called 911. The officer did observe several lacerations to the victim's face and neck, a bruise to his right cheek, and 6 different bite marks on his chest and neck area. I do have, this is her first arrest. Notwithstanding, the state's recommendation is UJR pretrial level 1, no contact with Wyatt Lewis, no alcohol, weapons, or drugs. Stay away from 223 Fletcher Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia.
And what's the relationship with the victim and the defendant?
They were boyfriend and girlfriend.
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm here for her.
Oh,
May I-
okay. Is the Cook Law Firm?
Yes, sir, Judge. I'm Tom Cook. We have entered an appearance in the case.
Okay.
Let me tell you a little bit about her. Judge, she is 22 years old. She is a senior at Georgia State. I'm sorry about the phone.
Okay.
She's a senior at Georgia State University. She also has a part-time job at a coffee shop. Her dad lives in Marietta, and her mom lives in Denver. She is I've known her from before, and frankly, I think the recommendation as far as level 1 would be totally appropriate. I'm always skeptical, frankly, with police reports where somebody reports, they said out of the blue something happened, and I think there may be some more to it, particularly since she's got a lot of bruises on herself right now.
Okay. All right. She is young, 22. I will grant the signature bond UJR through. She's a senior, so she's got classes. I will let her call in.
Thank you, Judge.
I'm going to do a $3,000 UJR signature bond through the pretrial with level 1, and she can call in. I'm going to order to take the free 1-day anger awareness course through pretrial. I'm going to order, and I'm not for sure, what did I hear as far as contact? No further contact?
Judge, we're fine to have no contact.
Okay.
They don't have contact as far as school. They don't have contact as far as her work. She lives in Atlanta, but doesn't live at that address. So that's no
Okay.
problem for us.
Okay. All right. So no further contact with the victims. Make sure there's the ample cooling off period. Actually, this was yesterday. Okay. And who lives at the Hank Aaron Drive?
She does.
He
That's
does.
that's her place.
Oh, her place.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. So just no further contact with the victim.
Well, the state was asking, and obviously we'll defer to the court, for a stay away from 223 Fletcher Street, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, and that is the victim's residence and also the incident location.
Well, I won't do the incident. Well,
It happened at his house.
Not the
which
way
is the Fletcher Street.
Correct. And then,
Okay.
correct. Yes.
All right, so stay away from the 223 Fletcher Street. And then, of course, if there's no further contact with the victim, Mr. Lewis, then she's not to be any closer than 200 yards or 2 football fields from him. No contact whatsoever by email, by text, by phone, not through other third parties right now, so that she doesn't violate the terms and conditions of her bond. And I guess that's all our order at this time.
And Judge, will the court or the solicitor prepare the order, or do I need to?
We will. We prepare it.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
May I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Mhm.
Judge, well, I got a quick announcement from Ms. Kim. We're trying to get in contact with her. She's
Okay.
you a client.
Okay.
Ms. Kim- Hey, Ms. Kim, we're trying to call you.
Sure. I'll take it.
Okay.
No problem.
Next we have position number 4. Mr. Evans.
Okay. All right, this is 23 CR 0079480. Dwayne Evans charged with 1 count of battery, pretrial.
35 total. 2021 probation. He's on probation for ag assault. 19 SC 170721. Open CP case for robbery. 2019 probation. 2019 simple battery DV, hindering 911 call. Cruelty in the third, those were convictions. 2018 failed to appear. 2017 simple battery DV conviction. 2015 felony obstruction conviction. And some more probation violations.
All right, state.
The history I had was a little bit different, so I was trying to pull that back up.
Uh-oh.
I got the wrong one?
I'm
sorry,
that
hold on.
that is
I,
no,
I
I don't know.
think so. I didn't see the pretrial report, but I don't
didn't?
believe that's correct.
Uh-oh, pretrial, you're, what are you, 2 for 1 now with the
Hey,
ASG
look,
coach is gonna get you.
this stuff come from our intake part. It didn't come from me. Hold on. let me
It's
see.
not his fault,
No.
okay?
Dwayne Evans. Hold on.
You want to read your state?
Yeah, it's incorrect.
So
Okay.
I had this was his first arrest,
Yeah, it's his
but
first.
Oh, wow.
What the
Oh,
world they got?
geez. Woo.
Yeah, it's his first.
He owes you lunch for that one.
For me.
Are you right? Exactly. Both of you.
he
You
can
got
take us
about
all
2
out. He
lunches.
can take us all out. I'm putting my money
Yeah.
on Mr. Howard.
You're right. Notice no comment from him.
No, I'm laughing. I'm sorry. I hear him.
All right.
So this
First
incident,
arrest. Okay.
this incident happened on December 13th, 2023. Officer Martinez was patrolling the in the area of 461 North Central Avenue in Hateville, Georgia, when she was approached by the victim, who was crying and bleeding from the back of her head, wearing a ripped white shirt and no shoes. The victim, Tynez Nevia Singleton, stated that she and her boyfriend had a physical altercation. She further stated that she woke up and saw that the defendant, her boyfriend, had gone through her phone and found old pictures of her and an ex-boyfriend. He texted those pictures to himself. She indicated that she and the defendant had been dating for about 2 months. The victim confronted the defendant by telling him the pictures were old, at which point he punched her multiple times in the face with a closed fist, pulled her hair during the altercation, causing it to fall out, and her head was bleeding from the back of the head. She also stated that he hit her with a bomb. Officers observed physical injury to the back of her head. The state's recommendation is a UJR pretrial level 1, no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, no contact with the victim, Tynez Nevia Singleton, and a anger awareness class or the domestic violence class.
All right. Is the victim on? Is it Tynez Singleton? Don't believe I have a few people, but I don't think I see that name. All right, go ahead. Oh, is it PT Atai?
Yes, Atai, yes. Your Honor, my client is 29 years old. As you heard, he has absolutely no criminal history. This is his very first arrest. He's lived in Georgia all his life. He graduated from Tri-Cities High School, attended some college at Atlanta Technical Institute. He works right now as an Uber driver. He does strongly deny the allegations in the warrant and states that the complaining witness was the first aggressor. Although even the warrant does state that the complaining witness initiated the confrontation. Because he has no criminal history, he's 29 years old. This is his very first arrest. I was not able to get in touch with the complaining witness, but we are requesting a signature bond through the jail. No further contact with the complaining witness is fine. And I believe a stay away from the incident location is also fine. Yes, it is. It's not his home, and they don't live together.
Okay. All right, I'm going to order a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. And he can call in if he needs to. I will also order the 1-day anger awareness course. I don't know, is there a separate DV course that's 1 day as well, pretrial, or just the anger awareness?
They do the other stuff too, I think.
Oh, because
I'm not sure. I have to ask.
wasn't clear.
But
I'll say anger awareness if they don't have a DV course. I'm not for sure which it is either. But whatever the 1-day anger awareness, if they don't have DV. If they have DV, then we'll do that. I was not familiar with the 1-day DV course, but I could just be uninformed.
I might have made that up. Don't follow me.
Yeah, I know Mr. Howard down there should find out for us. He may ask someone.
they upstairs partying right now, so I'll know.
Oh, they're having an
I'll know
office Christmas
tomorrow.
party. They're
Yeah.
gonna get you for telling on them. They're having their internal office get together, sounds like. All right. And then no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. No further contact with the victim, and stay away then from that incident location.
And just if it's needed, I think the incident location was 431 King Arnold Street, Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, thank you for that. Do you have that, Ms. Holland?
I do.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then who's the North Central?
That's just the officer saw her walking in the roadway, and that's where she made contact with her. But the incident
That was
location,
not a location,
that's
right?
correct.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. All right. That will be it for that case.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, was that through the jail or pretrial?
Pre-trial.
Okay. Next we have position number 8.
This is 23 CR 007949A. Peter Perdue, charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, pre-trial.
I'm gonna go with first arrest, jail recommendation.
All
Your Honor,
right.
reading the facts of the cases, looks like on 7/29/2022, the officer responded to 1845 Piedmont Avenue Northeast, Atlanta, in Fulton County, Georgia, 30324, in reference to a domestic violence dispute between a male and a female. The victim advised, the victim in this case being Adriana, Adrianna Pearson, traditional spelling. She advised that she had just been assaulted by her boyfriend. She also advised the defendant was upset with her. He became angry and was trying to and as she was trying to leave the apartment, or their apartment, he pulled the victim to the floor and punched her in the head and torso. He also kicked her in the body while she was on the floor. The victim was able to get away and ran from the building to call 911 when she was in a safe place. She also advised that she went to the hospital for treatment to the knot to her forehead. Our office was able to get in contact with the victim. She advised that her and the defendant are no longer in a relationship. They no longer live together. They share one child together, however. The victim stated that stated that her and the defendant no longer live at the incident location, obviously. The victim also confirmed the events in the warrant. She stated that they have had contact, but only because of the child. There has been no violence since. She also states that she does not fear the defendant. I state that because I think she stated that she does not believe that she will be on the call here today. But if you could still sound for her in accordance with Marcy's law, that'd be greatly appreciated. But given his limited criminal history, the age of the case, the nature of everything, the state's recommendation is a signature bond through the jail, no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, no violent contact with the victim in this case, and the completion of a family violence intervention program.
Okay. All right. PD Kim's is your case?
Yes, I thought you were gonna announce or sound for
Oh, I'm sorry, for
Adriana.
the victim.
Yes,
Is it
okay.
Adriana Pearson? Adriana Pearson. Let me ask a question real quick. On Zoom user, what is your name and which case are you here for? We don't have a name. Someone, I think a young lady right there looks like she's long hair. Yes, can't hear you. Still can't hear you.
Hi, yes, I'm just here for more support for his case.
For which
I'm
case?
the current one that we're discussing.
Oh, Mr. Purdue that we're on now?
Come again, I'm sorry.
For the case that we're on now, Peter Purdue?
I can't hear you guys anymore.
Peter Purdue?
Hello?
All right, it doesn't matter. If you don't want to address the court, I just wanted to know if we got into your case. We only have 2 left.
Yeah, she said she was just here for more
Yeah, for
support
more
for the case
support.
that we're here on now.
Okay. All right,
Mhm.
thank you. And then we have another person, Kianga. What
Yes,
case
I'm
is
his
she?
mother.
Oh, you're Mr. Purdue's mother?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Mhm.
And then one last person we have, Takia. Is she an employee or? Takia? Are you here on a particular case?
She's his aunt.
All right, and then I see a Peter Purdue. Is that his father or just someone on with the same name as the defendant? He has a lot of support here.
His father.
His father, okay. All right. Just checking, because I knew we were almost down to the end and I see some extra names. All right. Go ahead, PD Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. As you have verified, he is he has a strong ties to the community. He has supports, and he is currently 23 years old, and he's very nervous about this whole situation. I believe Adriana Pearson does not want to prosecute this case anymore, so hopefully this can be resolved very fast. This happened more than a year ago. They are doing really good as a co-parent, and there's no violence whatsoever at all. He graduated from Tri-Cities High School at East Point, Georgia. He did a really good job. And also he's currently working at Taco Mag as a server, working very hard to make sure that he can provide financial support for his baby. So we would like to request for we have no objection to everything else except the intervention course. I think it is kind of premature at this point. Thank you.
All right. And what does he work? Did you tell me that? PD
Yes,
Kim?
Taco Mac. That's
Oh,
where
you
he
told me
works
that.
as a
That
server.
Taco. So he lives at home or he lives by himself or?
He resides with his parents right now. So Miss Kianga and Mr. Peter Purdue.
All right. All right, it is his first arrest, so I'm going to grant him a $3,000 signature bond. I will grant that signature bond through through pretrial level 1. He can call in and to take the 1-day anger awareness course. And no further. Now, has anyone spoken to Ms. Pearson to say no further violent contact or no further contact?
Go for the violent contact.
And I know
Yes,
it happened.
Your Honor, our office has spoken with her and she stated that since the incident, they have had contact and it has not been violent and that she is not in fear of him, I believe.
Okay. So we'll order Ms. Holly no further violent contact.
Okay.
And do we need to stay away or not?
I do believe that they don't live at that incident location anymore. Let me double check. I think that was my understanding. Yeah, she states that they no longer live at the incident location. Yes.
All right, so no further violent contact, no drugs, alcohol, weapons, or guns while on bond. And like I say, he can take the 1-day anger awareness through pre-trial, but he can call in since he may be busy working at Taco Mac. And I believe that's it. Anything else, counsel?
Nothing further from
Nothing
the
further.
state, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, how much was this signature bond for?
3,000. And I guess he should know he has a lot of family support, so hopefully that will help him to get things straightened out. All right, whoever SG Denise is, you're not muted, and Miss Holly's not muted.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I noticed you weren't. I didn't know if you wanted to be muted or not. I
Oh.
know it's almost
So we
showtime.
at the end of the counter. Let it ride.
We shall.
Position number 6, their bond was paid.
Okay,
Okay, good.
good.
We
Good
got to
news.
the end real quick.
Right. Thank you, Deputy.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll see you all another day.
Okay, so are we ready to do this?
Yes, ma'am. Are you ready, pre-trial?
I am.
Very good, thank you.
Okay, everybody. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is December the 28th. Position number 1 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. 2 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 3 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 4,
Contact. I'm sorry.
huh?
What was the contact for number 3?
I have no further contact for number 4 and number 3.
3.
3 is no further contact.
Okay.
Number 4 is reset further notice with the $3,000 SOB through pretrial.
What was that contact?
No further contact with Ms. Singleton.
All right.
5 is reset to the SAP calendar, which again is December the 28th, and that's a $5,000 good bond. 6 is being reset further notice as the defendant has been released. 7 is reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through the jail. And 8 is reset further notice with the $3,000 SOB through pretrial. Are there any questions, comments, or otherwise? Okay, wonderful.
Yep, sounds good. See you all.
When are you
next-
back? Saturday?
Me?
Yes.
Let's see. I haven't really checked. Yes. Are you working Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be.
Don't be so excited. Are you
I'm
gonna
telling
be
you.
ASG? I should say SASG Hope.
I don't think so.
No. All
I'm
right,
working
then. You gotta
Saturday.
get to Saturday yet. I won't jinx you. All right, everybody. See you
Thank
all
you.
next time. Thanks. All right.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye, everyone.
All hearings to reset. Okay, all hearings to reset. Okay.